In today's fast-paced and chaotic world, our emotions often feel like an uncontrollable force, dragging us into unnecessary conflicts, stress, and unhappiness. Learning to control our emotions and master the art of non-reaction is an essential skill for cultivating inner peace and living a fulfilled life. Drawing from timeless Buddhist wisdom, this guide explores how non-reactivity can transform your emotional landscape and lead to profound growth. By stepping back from impulsive reactions, you create space for understanding and healing. This shift not only benefits your mental health, but also deepens your connections with others. Imagine being able to navigate stressful situations with calm and grace, rather than letting them overwhelm you. Mastering your emotions is not about suppressing them, but about finding harmony between your thoughts and feelings. Each moment you choose non-reaction, you take a step closer to freedom. Inner peace is not a destination, but a skill you build over time. Let's explore how you can achieve this transformation. Emotions are fleeting, impermanent, and ever-changing. Buddhism teaches that emotions arise as a result of our attachment to external stimuli and our inner conditioning. Understanding the impermanence of emotions is the first step toward gaining control over them. For example, the frustration you feel in traffic might not stem from the traffic itself, but from your attachment to the idea of being on time. Recognizing this can help you let go of the frustration. When you see emotions as temporary, they lose their grip on you. Imagine emotions as waves in the ocean. They rise, peak, and fade, but the ocean itself remains vast and steady. This perspective allows you to stop identifying with every emotional high and low. Instead of being swept away by anger or sadness, you can observe these feelings with calm detachment. Over time, this practice builds emotional resilience. Each time you observe your emotions without judgment, you strengthen your inner peace. Reactivity often leads to suffering because it arises from a place of attachment or aversion. For example, reacting with anger when criticized only reinforces negative emotions, perpetuating a cycle of conflict. Instead of reacting, pause and reflect on the root cause of your feelings. In many cases, the criticism may not be as personal as it seems. By stepping back, you not only protect your peace, but also open the door to constructive communication. Imagine a situation where someone makes an unkind comment. Instead of retaliating, you take a deep breath and calmly assess their words. Often you'll find that their negativity reflects their struggles, not your worth. By responding with empathy instead of anger, you diffuse the situation and maintain your dignity. Practicing non-reaction doesn't make you passive, it makes you wise. It shows that you value understanding over confrontation. The cornerstone of emotional mastery is mindfulness, the practice of observing your emotions without judgment. This allows you to detach from your emotional triggers and respond with clarity rather than impulsivity. Mindfulness is like a mirror that shows you your inner world without distortion. For example, when anger arises, simply acknowledging it can reduce its intensity. This simple act of awareness creates a pause between the stimulus and your response, giving you greater control over your actions. Imagine pausing before responding to an upsetting email and choosing your words carefully instead of sending an impulsive reply. Mindfulness turns ordinary moments into opportunities for growth. It teaches you that your emotions don't define you. They are experiences passing through your consciousness. With practice, mindfulness becomes a refuge where you can center yourself amidst life's challenges. Each mindful moment is a step toward emotional freedom. Reactivity often stems from deeply rooted patterns in the mind, known in Buddhist philosophy as samskaras. These habitual tendencies are shaped by past experiences, beliefs, and unresolved emotions. To reduce reactivity, we must first understand and address these underlying patterns. For instance, a fear of rejection might cause you to overreact to criticism. By identifying this pattern, you can work on healing the fear at its source. Think about how childhood experiences might influence your responses as an adult. Perhaps you were criticized harshly, and now even gentle feedback feels like a threat. Recognizing this connection allows you to approach situations with awareness instead of defensiveness. Healing these patterns requires patience and compassion, both for yourself and those who contributed to your pain. Every step you take in unraveling these patterns brings you closer to emotional freedom. This journey is one of self-discovery and empowerment. Equanimity, the ability to remain calm and composed in all situations, is a cornerstone of Buddhist practice. It doesn't mean suppressing emotions, but rather embracing them with balance and acceptance. Cultivating equanimity is like strengthening a muscle. It requires consistent practice. For instance, monks often meditate on impermanence to develop emotional resilience. This practice helps them remain centered even in challenging situations. Imagine being in a heated argument and choosing to stay calm instead of reacting defensively. Equanimity empowers you to respond thoughtfully rather than impulsively. It allows you to navigate challenges with a sense of inner stability. This balance doesn't come overnight, but each effort you make strengthens your emotional resilience. The beauty of equanimity lies in its power to transform chaos into clarity. It's a skill that benefits every area of your life, from relationships to decision-making. Every emotional trigger is an opportunity to learn and grow. When you encounter a challenging situation, approach it with curiosity rather than resistance. Triggers reveal areas where healing is needed, offering a chance for self-discovery. For instance, if you feel jealous when a colleague succeeds, ask yourself why. This might uncover an insecurity you can address. By examining your triggers, you turn them into stepping stones for personal growth. Each trigger becomes a mirror reflecting the work you need to do. Over time, you'll notice that situations that once upset you no longer have the same power. Imagine seeing a former trigger as just another part of life, neutral and unthreatening. This transformation is liberating and empowering. It reminds you that growth is always possible. Silence is a powerful tool in emotional mastery. It gives you the space to process your emotions and respond intentionally rather than impulsively. Non-reaction, when practiced wisely, diffuses conflicts and fosters understanding. For example, when someone speaks harshly to you, silence can act as a buffer. This pause not only calms the situation, but also gives you time to craft a thoughtful response. Silence allows you to listen deeply, not just to others, but also to yourself. It's in the quiet moments that you often find the clarity you need. Imagine choosing silence in a tense situation and watching the tension dissolve. Silence isn't about avoiding confrontation. It's about approaching it wisely. Each silent moment is an opportunity to reflect and reset. Over time, this practice transforms your relationships and inner world. Letting go of ego-driven responses is a profound step toward emotional freedom. Much of our emotional reactivity is tied to the ego, the false sense of self that clings to pride, identity, and validation. When you let go of ego-driven impulses, you open the door to peace and clarity. For example, imagine someone cutting you off in traffic. disrespected, but your higher self recognizes that the situation doesn't diminish your worth. By choosing not to react, you preserve your peace and energy. This practice helps you focus on what truly matters rather than being swept up in trivial conflicts. Letting go of the ego is not about losing yourself, but finding your truest self. It's about understanding that you are more than your emotions, achievements, or failures. The more you release ego-driven reactions, the lighter and freer you feel. Over time, this creates a profound shift in how you approach life's challenges. Non-reactivity doesn't mean suppressing emotions. It means approaching them with kindness and understanding. Compassion is a vital component of this practice, both for yourself and others. When you make a mistake, instead of criticizing yourself, try saying, "It's okay, I'm learning." This simple act of self-compassion can transform your emotional state. Similarly, when someone reacts negatively toward you, remember they may be acting from a place of pain or fear. Instead of retaliating, respond with empathy and curiosity. For example, imagine a colleague snapping at you during a stressful project. Instead of taking it personally, consider what they might be going through. This perspective fosters understanding and reduces conflict. Compassion doesn't just heal others, it also heals you. It creates a ripple effect, transforming your relationships and the world around you. Every compassionate response strengthens your emotional resilience and deepens your inner peace. The stop technique is a simple yet powerful tool for emotional mastery. When you feel triggered, start by pausing to interrupt your reaction. Take a slow, deep breath to ground yourself in the present moment. Observe your thoughts, emotions, and sensations without judgment, as if you were an impartial witness. Then proceed with a mindful response rather than an impulsive reaction. For instance, imagine receiving frustrating news at work. Instead of lashing out, you pause, breathe, and observe your feelings of frustration. This pause allows you to respond calmly and constructively, perhaps by seeking a solution or expressing your concerns diplomatically. The stop technique is like hitting a reset button for your emotions. Each time you use it, you reinforce the habit of mindfulness and reduce reactivity. Over time, this practice becomes second nature, helping you navigate life with grace and balance. It's a simple but transformative way to regain control over your emotional responses. Reflecting on your experiences through journaling is another effective way to cultivate emotional awareness. Take a few minutes each day to write about situations that triggered you. Ask yourself, what emotions did I feel? What thoughts or beliefs fueled my reaction? Could I have responded differently? For example, you might write about an argument with a friend, exploring why their words upset you. Perhaps you'll discover that your reaction was tied to a deeper fear of rejection. Journaling helps you identify patterns and gain insight into your emotional landscape. It also provides a safe space to process your feelings without judgment. Over time, you'll notice recurring themes and areas for growth. This self-reflection fosters greater self-awareness and empowers you to make conscious choices. Imagine reading your journal a year from now and seeing how much you've grown. Journaling is a tool for self-discovery and transformation. Practicing gratitude can shift your focus from negative emotions to positive perspectives, reducing reactivity. Each day list 3 things you're grateful for, no matter how small. For example, you might feel grateful for a kind word from a stranger, the warmth of the sun, or a moment of peace during your day. This practice trains your mind to focus on what's going well rather than dwelling on what's not. Gratitude doesn't just improve your mood, it rewires your brain to seek positivity. Imagine starting your day with a gratitude practice and noticing how it sets a positive tone for everything that follows. Gratitude creates a sense of abundance, reducing feelings of fear or lack that often fuel reactive behaviors. It reminds you of the good in your life, even during challenging times. Over time, this practice fosters resilience and emotional balance. It's a simple yet profound way to cultivate inner peace and happiness. Buddhist stories provide timeless wisdom on the power of non-reactivity. Take the story of the angry man who insulted the Buddha. Instead of reacting, the Buddha calmly said, "If someone offers you a gift and you refuse it, to whom does the gift belong?" This illustrates that you don't have to accept negativity from others. Another story, The Tale of the Empty Boat, teaches a similar lesson. Imagine rowing a boat and feeling anger when another boat collides with yours, until you realize the boat is empty. The story shows that much of our anger stems from assigning blame, often unnecessarily. These stories remind us that we have the power to choose how we respond to life's challenges. They inspire us to approach difficulties with wisdom and calm. By internalizing these lessons, you can transform how you handle conflicts and cultivate inner peace. Mastering the power of not reacting is not about suppressing emotions, but embracing them with awareness and wisdom. This journey requires patience and practice, but the rewards are profound. Imagine facing life's challenges with calm and clarity, free from the chains of emotional reactivity. By practicing mindfulness, cultivating equanimity, and approaching triggers with curiosity, you can transform your emotional landscape. Each moment of non-reaction strengthens your inner peace and aligns you with your higher self. This journey is not always easy, but it's deeply empowering. You're not just learning to manage emotions, you're unlocking your true potential. Remember, every effort you make brings you closer to emotional freedom. Choose peace over reactivity and watch your life transform in ways you never imagined. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Let's grow this community together. If we reach 5,000 likes, I'll share a special video on calming your mind and finding success with the resources you already have. Together, we can build a life of peace and purpose. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.